guys, welcome to today's video. Today we are taking a 3-day wear test of Rituel de Fille's 3-drop weightless serum foundation. It comes in 24 shades and I have 2 of them. I have 120, a little too light, a little too pink, and 130, a little too warm. You will see me apply both alone. The first 2 days is 120, and on the 3rd day I had received 130, and today I mixed both 120 and 130. The 120 was still a little light, so I went in with the Hakuhodo powder, which imparts a little bit of color and helps to take off the edge a little bit on being a little bit too light for me. I received this lovely little informational thing. Let me tell you what they're saying here. The complexion you want from a medium coverage foundation. Glasses would be helpful. The ease you want with a tinted oil. And the ingredients you want for a serum. The oils are jojoba oil, marula oil, and MCT oil. And when you look at the ingredients, the first one is the jojoba oil. This truly is an oil-based foundation. And let me just say, if you don't want to watch the whole video, I love this. I don't think I've ever tried anything like this in my life. And I think it's beautiful on the skin. The clouds are in and out because it's been raining. And I have this door shut, so I'm getting the window from the bathroom, which has really pretty light, on the side of me. But it's going to change. I really wanted to shoot this when the sun was out so you could really see how beautiful it is. You're going to have to trust me. It's insanely beautiful. Now the actives are very strange, you guys. Words I cannot pronounce. Magnifying glass because I don't know where I put my glasses. The 3-drop weightless serum foundation is the first product of any category, including skincare. Created with a hyperpotent new carotenoid active, the JD Phyto-OR at 1%. The most common carotenoids are also pigments. Beta carotene makes carrots orange, and lycopene makes tomatoes red. As a uniquely colorless carotenoid, phytoin can be used at higher concentrations for greater efficacy. So in other words, you can't use the stuff they put in tomatoes or the stuff that they put in carrots on your face in high concentrations because I guess it might stain your face. This is something I don't know much about. I don't know how it's good for the skin, but I would imagine at the very least it's a nice antioxidant. Let's talk about the packaging. The bottom has a pump. I'm not sure what the word is. And this falls off. This has fallen off the other bottle and it falls off. You don't have to worry about it. But it says, press me. And comes out like this. It reminded me immediately of the Serum. However, the Serum is, you really have to press hard, and it's hard for me for some reason. This is an easy press. Because it's based in oil, you need to shaky, because I am guessing, well, first of all, they tell you to shake, but I'm guessing that the pigments are a different weight than the oils, and they probably go down to the bottom. So I'm going to do a couple of swatches for you, comparison swatches, so you can see what these colors look like. I actually hardly had to press it at all. So this is the 30, which is more of a yellow based, and the 120 that is more of a pink base, but meaningless without. Something I'm familiar with. These are the 2 foundations that I use over and over again, and I still love, and they have great colors for me, although the colors are different from each other. They both really work. This is the Givenchy Prism Libra N3 and 250. Right there. And that is usually a very nice shade for me. And this is the Makeup Forever Reboot in Y315 and Y for yellow. I'm just going to turn these a little bit so you can get an idea of what these shades look like, at least when they're wet. There is a little bit of a scent to this, but it's not perfumed, it's the oils. There aren't oils in here that are scented, so there's not a rose oil or a rosemary oil or orange oil. It's not like that. It's just, oh, there's a scent to this. Let's talk a little bit about my skin, because nothing makes me crazier than watching somebody review and give all these interesting details, except the detail of what their skin is. Because if somebody is oily and they're saying, oh, this is too moisturizing, it's too this, it's too that, it doesn't really matter to me. I have to take that into consideration, but you got to tell people what you are, right? I'm 60, that's what I am. My skin is 60 years old, and it's on the dry side, and it can be dehydrated. I use a lot of skincare for prep, even if I'm not going to wear makeup on a particular day, and I pretty much wear foundation every day. But even if I'm not, I still put on my essences, my serums, and a couple of moisturizers, one lightweight and liquidy, and one a little bit heavier, but not terribly heavy, and always sunscreen. For this 3-day wear test, I wore 3 different sunscreens today, which I didn't shoot, but today I wore the Tula Mineral Magic, which is something that I really like. It's SPF 30, it's raining, so I think I'm going to be fine. And this is what she looks like today. Super, super pretty. I did pull it down my neck and my chest because there's so much redness here and on the sides of my neck. And I think it is just so pretty. I think it looks like real skin. It doesn't have a makeup-y kind of look about it. So let's get into the 3 days. I actually shot this narration yesterday. I was going to edit the entire video yesterday, and I put it in the camera, not the camera, the computer, and I found when I was going through my footage that for some reason I did not shoot the application. I work with a remote, and I hit the remote and look for that red light, but I guess I didn't look for the red light on the day that I shot the application. Oops. So on that day I was wearing the new sunscreen from Ole Henriksen, which I'll post right here. I did a review on that, as well as a review on this, the under eye thing, which I love. Today I'm not wearing concealer at all. I'm actually just wearing this under my eyes, and I didn't even put this on, FYI. And I think where we're going to come in is me putting on my color products to see how they work with this formula. This is what I usually use for cream bronzer, and I'm going to do another cream product. And when your color is a little too light, this is kind of a must. Okay, we did a liquid blush and a cream bronzer, and everything is working fine. I like the sheen level that I have on the face. I feel that I don't need to powder it. I'm digging it. It's time for us to do some blushes that are powder. I'm going to go in with this Sicily. This is a squirrel brush. It's very, very soft, and there's no dragging or pulling. Okay, that was very nice as well. Thinking of it, it might get hot today, and I feel like I don't like shine right here. I think it emphasizes how my cheeks are going down now as I'm getting older, so I definitely want to powder right there. And just take a look and see how it takes the powder. Beautifully. Wow, really beautifully. This takes powder nicely. Okay, I'm going to finish the rest of my makeup, come back with a final look and what my initial thoughts are. I think this is going to be all I'm going to do today. Just a little bit of brow, a little bit of eyeshadow. No liner or anything else. I did contour my nose, and I always regret it when I try to do that. Anyway, let's talk about the skin. I think the skin looks very, very pretty. Oops, I didn't blend in. I also put a little highlighter on with my finger, which I didn't blend in. So this sunscreen has a bit of a tacky grip to it. Oh my god, the nose is just awful. Let's go in with a little bit more. I'm going to pick it up with a brush. I don't recommend using this with a brush because I feel that because this really is a thin formula, a brush, any brush, will pick up far too much of the product. Well, it builds nice. Okay, I need to leave the nose alone, but I'm gonna scooch you in. I'm moving in, the camera's gonna move in, and just take a look. The other color products are laying on the skin beautifully. There's a nice sheen on the forehead. The cheeks kind of came back a little bit of that sheen, but I think it looks very, very pretty formula-wise on the skin. All right, so back tomorrow for another pass with... Now the real bummer about not having the footage is you're not getting my initial feelings and my initial observations, although to be honest, if you know me, you know the minute I got this, I broke into it and put it on. So it wasn't initial, but my feelings about it, I can tell you this, it's super comfortable on the skin. I also feel that there's a great deal of spread, which you'll see on day 2 application. And 3 drops is very strong medium coverage. I would say it's full, but I'm sure there's something out there that is more full, but I feel really, really well covered with this. And yet, I don't feel that it looks makeup-y. And interestingly enough, I don't think that it's excessively shiny. I have tried sunscreens that give off more shine than this does. So if you're oily, don't freak out. This might actually work for you. That whole thing of if you strip your skin thinks, oh, I'm dry, let's produce more oil. And it's a vicious circle for oily skin, whereas if you apply certain kinds of oils, and I don't know what they are because I'm not oily, but certain oils, your skin reads, oh, we're fine, and it stops producing more oils. I don't know that someone with very oily skin is going to like this, but if you're a combo, don't poo-poo this. How did it wear? It wore beautifully on this side of the face. On this side of the face, I looked in the mirror, my magnifying mirror, at about 11 o'clock at night, and I had polka dot pores, but they weren't where I usually get them, which is right here. They were over here. I thought, this is very weird, and it's not on this side of the face, and then I remembered the Ole Henriksen sunscreen. And since I have worn this probably 6 or 7 times in the course of the last week, because I've had rain days or days where I wasn't shooting, I've worn it. I feel that I can say with 95.9, just to have a weird number, percent sure that that polka dot thing that I was getting was all about the sunscreen, because I wasn't getting it on that side. And it's a weird sunscreen to work with. It wore all day long, no problem at all. Now let's get into day 2. Okay, you guys, today is day 2, and I think instead of a 3-day, we're going to do a 4-day. We will see, for 2 reasons. One, I am doing a sunscreen that I'm not sure about. I have done a video on this, but I haven't edited or posted it yet. This video will go up first, but I'm using the Kosas, and I'm just trying to figure out how to use it. And of course, yesterday I used the Ole Henriksen. I shook it up a little bit, and again I'm going to do finger 2, 3. Really, I think the slip is so amazing. Start with 2 drops. See what's going to happen here with you. Depends on your sunscreen and your skincare, but 3 drops is full coverage for me. And it's working really well with the sunscreen. There's no balling or pilling or weirdness going on. I just want to get a beauty blender because I don't like a lot around my upper lip. Even the nose is not acting too weird. I just feel like I want to wait for a little bit before I go on with other products. Just 5 minutes. And usually I do, because usually after my foundation, I go ahead and do my eyes. So I'm going to turn off the camera. I'll be back in a flash. I'm going to go on with this Ole Henriksen. And somebody said use your fingers instead of going on like this. So I tried it yesterday and it works great, because this is a little too big for me. So I take some off on my finger, but when you put this on, you really have to stay in one place and pat it in. Don't put it on and go like this, because you would just move it. That went on well, and I'm going to go on with the Givenchy Prism Libra and just a touch. I don't feel that I actually need all that much because the product really brightens up. No problem with those, even though the formulas are very, very different. They're just working together super well. And a little bit of powder. Cream blush. No problem with that either. And you can see it doesn't mattify me entirely. It just brings down the shine a little bit, so I still feel radiant, but I don't feel shiny. I didn't powder my cheeks too much, so let's see how this powder blush works. A teeny bit of drag, but again, it could be the sunscreen. Alright, you guys, this is kind of my final look. I do want to pull in so you can see what is going on the skin. I think it's absolutely beautiful. It looks like skin, but really good coverage. Now, interestingly enough, on day 2, I went in with the Kosas, which is quite shiny, and I didn't feel like it was too shiny. In fact, I really, really liked the way it looked on my skin. And again, I had all day wear. Looked in the mirror 11 o'clock at night, 12 o'clock at night, and I'm thinking this looks very pretty on the skin. My blush was gone. All my color products were gone, but my foundation was still there. I still had coverage. It wasn't breaking up unevenly. I was very, very impressed. Now, day 3. So this is the 3rd day. Yesterday I got the new color. So originally 120 and now 130. And we're going to try the 130, which is a little bit warmer, but I don't think it's much deeper. Also today, I'm wearing my Isntree sunscreen, which is more my usual kind of sunscreen, and it'll be interesting to see how it works with that. I'm just going to do 2 drops this time because a little goes a long way. So today is super cloudy, so it's going to look different even though I did a white balance. I still have some left, but I feel that I have plenty of coverage, and this color seems much better for me. Hard to tell because it's so cloudy. Okay, I'm going to pull you in so you can see how pretty this looks on the skin. It just looks like skin. It doesn't look like makeup. And yet the coverage is super decent. If you're somebody who just wants a wash of color, you might want to take this, I haven't tried it, and put it in with a little bit of moisturizer, and then put that all over your face, or maybe put it in with your sunscreen and put that all over your face. It does have a lot of slip, so you might be able to do your whole face with just one pump, but I have things to cover, and I think it's super, super pretty. A lot of shine today. The Isntree leaves me very shiny. Since it's cloudy and dreary and I do want to go out to run some errands, I'm going to go in with a pop color. This is Popette. It's seamless. Seamless. Just to knock down the glow, I don't want to be matte. And I think this is just stunning, you guys. I don't know how much it costs because it's not up on the website yet. I did get this in PR, but I think it's gorgeous. So I'm going to go in with this Sisley Paris and Peach and hope that this will be pretty with it. No problem at all. I truly haven't ever tested anything like this. And oftentimes when brands come out with something and they say it's revolutionary, I'm the cynic who's like, I think it actually is revolutionary. So Next time you'll see me, it'll be tomorrow. It'll be hopefully sunny, and maybe we'll have another application. So let's talk. Long wearing, yes. Medium coverage, yes. I would say 2 drops, all you need. 3 drops for much fuller coverage. If you just want a little sheer something, you might be able to stretch it out to 1, depending on what your prep is, because this moves. It has beautiful slip very, very easily. Who is going to want to wear this? I think if you have combo, you might. I think if you have normal, you really, really might. If you have dry, you're absolutely going to love this. It does not dry. Now, some oils actually do have a somewhat drying effect. I don't know which ones they are, but it's an odd phenomenon. These do not feel drying on the skin. So we have excellent wear, very comfortable. It doesn't break up. It doesn't leave polka dot pores. It doesn't settle into anything. Like, I'm not thinking, oh, I mean, I don't really have settling issues. Yeah, it's just so beautiful. It works well with a variety of sunscreens. Like I said, part of the face looked good with that Ole Henriksen, but then I did the Kosas, which is also new to me, and I believe that's oil-based. It feels like it is. Worked great. I used it with the Isntree, worked great. Today I'm using it with the Tula Mineral Magic, which I think is more dimethicone, worked great. Yesterday I used it with the Tatcha, which is also dimethicone based. So it plays well with sunscreens, plays well with skincare. I haven't had any issues at all. Super comfortable, super pretty, looks like skin. It checks every single box for me. And I am giving this a gigantic thumbs up. I have tried in the month of March 6 foundations, and I didn't like any of them. I like the Jane Iredale. It looks so pretty, and with some work, it made me look like I had beautiful skin that was my own skin. But I had to use products that didn't bring out any redness in my skin for my prep. No massaging, no tools. I had to use my Mineral Magic, which is a little bit peach, which helps hide the redness. And it was just too much work. I sent it back not because it's not beautiful, but because it's really for people who don't have a lot of redness. You can have scars, but your scars aren't taking up this much. So you could put that Jane Iredale on and just do a couple of spot concealing. But for me, no. So while I liked that one a lot, it went back, and I didn't like anything that I tried last March into April, because I also tried the new Say, which I just could not. One of the worst experiences I've ever had with foundation. And this makes up for it. You gotta kiss a lot of frogs before you get a prince. When it comes to foundation anyway. And the sun is gone, so I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna say bye-bye, be well. I hope you come back. Oh, and there it is. And I'm going to move my umbrella and open the door, and you're going to see what this looks like in natural light. And here it is, you guys. The sun is out, and I hope that you can see how pretty this is on the skin. I think it's just gorgeous. I think the sun is going to fade again, so let me just say thank you so much for spending some time with me. I really appreciate it. And I really hope that this kind of video is helpful to you. And I hope you come back again. Until we meet again, be safe, be smart, and I'm wishing you good health.